Hey, welcome to One Verse. My name is Matt. So glad that you joined us today. Our one verse today is a beautiful verse because I think so many times as Christians, if I can just be honest for a second, and I think you'll appreciate this because there's a really good chance that you feel this way at times as well. It's easy for us to take Jesus for granted. You know, especially if you've been a Christian for many years, it's easy for us, and you can know this because if you're in a church and they start to preach what, you know, you might call a gospel message or talk about salvation or what Jesus did on the cross, it's easy if you've been a Christian for a long time to kind of check out and be like, oh, I know these verses. Oh, I know the story. Oh, I hope there's someone in this room that needs to hear that. Well, guess what? There is, and you look at them every day in the mirror, all right? Because we need to hear it. We need to remember, like, the closer we get to Jesus, the more that we realize that we should never take him for granted. If we're taking him for granted, it just means that we're actually not as deep in that relationship as we should be. And I know this because I should never come to a point where I'm like, you know what? I know everything about my wife that I should. I should never get to that point. Matter of fact, the more I get to know my wife, the more I want to know her even deeper, right? That's a beautiful relationship. Well, our faith in Christ is not a religion. It's a relationship. And so we should want to know him more and more. And this is why our one verse for today, Romans 5, verse 8. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this. So God loved us, and he showed an act of love towards us in this : we're getting ready to find out what is this going to say. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Not just that Christ died for us. I mean, that's amazing on its own, but I love that phrase, while we were still sinners. I didn't earn it. You didn't earn it. It wasn't like we did so many good works that we got to a point where God's like, okay, you're worthy now. And so I'm going to send Jesus to die for you. We weren't even living then. We were still, and humanity was lost deep in sin. And God looked at us and had compassion and love for us and said, I'm going to send my son to die for you. I hope we never take that for granted because we did nothing to earn this love. He loved us first. Have a great day.